Hello, welcome to Wild West Garage. My name is Morgan. Standing in my shop here today. So today we're not going to be working on any automotive stuff necessarily. I got a new piece of equipment in my shop. Maybe you've spotted it already. So one of the problems I face in the shop is because it's a pretty small area. It's 24 by 24. It's basically the size of the room that I'm working in here. And it's a fairly, confined space, and it's winter time. So I like to keep the doors shut. So that means the air quality isn't so good. A lot of the times when I'm grinding and welding, it gets pretty thick in here. So, I do wear a respirator a lot of the time, but that gets a little bit, I don't know, just gets to be kind of uncomfortable after a long period of time wearing a respirator. I don't know if you wear a respirator for longer than an hour or so, it's not, I don't like it. It's just drives me nuts. So anyways, I decided I needed to build an air scrubber. So that's what we're doing today in this video. So got some clips detailing, how I built it, and a little high-speed stuff, and you'll get the idea. So here's another thing built mostly out of cast-offs, found items. The metal came from a scrap metal bin at a sheet metal shop, HVAC shop. So I went and bought 2 sheets, an 18 gauge and a 20 gauge 4x8 sheets. And I looked over at their scrap bin, and it was pretty full of stuff, so I asked them if I could pull some metal out of there. So I pulled some tin out of there and broke it and beaded it and whatever, just to make these parts. I got some high-speed clips I'm going to share with you coming up. I don't know how much you're going to get from that, but just screaming through some stuff. So, and then this. Here's another thing that the guys next to our shop, where I used to work, they were cleaning house, and they had this brand new filter, probably from some kind of a machine, whatever, but they didn't know what it was for, so they just threw it on their garbage pile. So I grabbed it, thinking, maybe one day I can use it for something. And so what I'm going to do here is, this is like kind of the after filter, I guess. This is the outlet of the machine, and so it goes on here. I can get it to go on. It's an awful sound. So this is the outlet. So that goes on there. So that's the thing that's really going to be doing the air cleaning. And then these are just furnace filters. I got 4 of them. Slide into the sides. They don't really, it's not a real positive seal on there, so there'll be another one. There's 4 of them. So I'll probably end up taping this up here on the edges just to seal it up a bit better. So that's the pre-filter. It kind of keeps the big junk out, and then as it's going out, the outlet is going to really clean up the air. So this is for particles, right? So it's not going to take out like fumes and stuff, but it'll take out particles, and I think it'll just make it a little more pleasant to work in here. Let's turn it on. I guess I didn't mention that fan. My dad was in the ventilation business, and he had a whole bunch of stuff, leftovers, right? Inventory. So I guess when he sold the business, but the guy didn't want a lot of the stuff, so it just ended up in storage here, and so I've got it all now. So there it is. that's the other downside to it too. I got to listen to that running all the time. So anyways, I'm going to bolt it to the ceiling right up here. So I'll come back when I got it up there. So there we go. Got it all completed, installed. It's hanging over the bench, just above the bench where I do most of my work, in this area here. So I think it turned out pretty good. So I put it up there last night and came up this morning, and I just started thinking that because this filter here is on the outlet, it's kind of diffusing the air and it's coming out of there fairly gently. So I was thinking that what's going to happen, because there's no real velocity of the air coming out as it would have been without the filter, that it's just going to start going from this filter right back into here, and it's just going to circulate around in a circle. And so that's not really ideal. I mean, you want to kind of get air moving around in here. So I added this today. Added this shroud over the filter. So now all the air coming out of that filter has to, well, most of it does, has to travel this way to get away from the filter, and any additional air that comes out of this exposed area, it's just going to get caught up in that, and it's going to, well, I've already tried it out, so I know it's blowing out in this direction. So now it's going to create a circulation, because it's on one side of the shop, so it's going to hit the wall there and you know circulate around in this bigger circle and come back to the inlet side. So I think this is going to work better than the way we originally had it. And ideally this filter should be on the inside, but I'm just building this thing out of my head, so I didn't realize that this filter was so big. I had in mind that I was going to put it inside, but I didn't bring it over here and try it. And anyway, so I could eventually get a smaller filter, put it inside, and then I won't necessarily need this one on the outside. That's just the way it worked out. So on the back side here, I got it taped up because there's some gaps there. There are gaps around the, there's going to be some air bypassing those furnace filters, but it's not really a problem because I've got that filter on the outside. It's going to catch all the stuff that bypasses. I'll just plug it in here so you can you can hear it. It's one thing about this kind of noise, it kind of does get on your nerves after a while, but it's not going to be on all the time, just when I'm grinding and welding. So when I'm grinding, I got earmuffs on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So anyways, it's pretty loud, but whatever, it's better than, it's really better than breathing in junk all the time. So I think it's going to work. So anyways, we got to do what we got to do to stay healthy. Everything I do in here is trying to kill me, so I just thought I'd better do something about it. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.